Welcome to the 1997 High School Challenge, brought to you by KCRG TV9. And now, here's your host, Denny Frary.
Thank you very much, and welcome to today's edition of the KCRG TV9 High School Challenge. Two wonderful teams are ready to square off here. Washington High School versus Jefferson High School, and we've been looking forward to this matchup for some time to come. Both have a good history in this tournament series. Let me introduce you first of all to the team from Washington High School. Let's meet them individually here. The sophomores are Emily Ogden, Noah Rogoff, Nathan Smith, and Nikki Wiesenfeld. And the juniors are Alex Knight, Patrick Lynch, Justin Renus, Jennifer Albrecht, Dale Muzzy, and Nicholas Schwartz. The seniors are Sean Castles and Steve Lindholm. The coach of Washington is Judy Ecker. And folks, that's the team from Washington High School. How about a nice hand for them? And Jefferson has a team here too. Small in numbers today, but I think they'll do quite well indeed. Sophomores, we have Justin Bell and Carl Adams. The juniors are Kevin Ralston, and that's it for the junior class. The seniors are Dan Wolf and Scott Fertella, and the coach is John Watowitz, and that's the team from Jefferson High School. Nice to have you here. And of course, it's great comfort to me, your host, to have a wonderful judge. He's in his 29th year at Cedar Rapids Co-College. A wonderful judge, a fantastic guy. Please say hello to Jack Laugen. Jack, good to have you here again. Now, what are the teams playing for? Well, obviously, the winner of this round advances to the Final Four, and that's step number one. Thanks to KCRG TV9, nobody will go away empty-handed, but the ultimate prize is $1,500 if they win it all, and one of these teams just might at the end for computer equipment. So we're ready to go with round one of the KCRG TV9 High School Challenge. Stay with us. Round one coming up. Welcome back. We're ready to go now in round one of the KCRG TV9 High School Challenge. Jefferson is here and so is Washington, and the winner will go on to the Final Four. Now, the rules of the game are quite simple. I will ask questions here in the first round. Now, the first team that rings the bell will get an opportunity to answer the question. If they do so correctly, they win 5 points in the first round, and then we'll give them a chance to get a 5-point bonus question. Now, if the team ringing the bell initially answers incorrectly, we then go to the other team, and they will have a chance to answer the toss-up and get 5 points for that, and the 5-point bonus question. So that's how the game works, and it just builds from that point. So here we go, Jefferson and Washington. Here's the first question, players. State borders is the category. Which state would be first on an alphabetical list of all the U.S. states that border Texas? And Alex for Washington.
Alabama.
Alabama is incorrect. We go over to Jefferson. Dan.
Arizona.
Arizona, no. Arkansas. Arkansas borders Texas. So no points there. Now we go to the second toss-up here. No points yet. Moods. What grammatical mood is illustrated in this sentence? I wish that guy in Iowa had not plagiarized our idea. Players have 10 seconds. Cannot confer on the toss-up. Subjunctive is what we were looking for. Musical performances, the next category. What is the two-word name for an impromptu performance by jazz, blues, or rock? And we go to Emily for Washington.
Ad-lib.
Ad-lib is not right. So back over here to Jefferson. No, it's jam session. They have a jam session. So we're still looking for our first points here. International relations. Unilateral concessions made by one government to pacify another belligerent nation is called... And Alex for Washington.
Appeasement.
Appeasement is right. 5 points for Washington High School. So the ice has been broken, and Washington, you're the first to do it. You're ahead 5-0. Here's the chance to go ahead 10-0 on the bonus. Chemical reactions, the category. Violent decomposition reactions that release large amounts of energy are commonly called, and you can confer on this, Emily.
Explosions.
Is right again. Explosions, and 5 more points for Washington. So the score is very quickly now 10 for Washington. So far, Jefferson has 0. Symptoms is the next toss-up category. Pathological involuntary muscular contractions are called, and Kevin for Jefferson.
Twitch.
I'm sorry, a twitch is not right, so we go over to Washington. Alex.
Seizure.
No, you were both close, but it's convulsions. We are looking for convulsions. Here's the next category now. On the toss-up, regrets. This former U.S. president, when asked if he had any regrets in his life, admitted that he had 2, that he had been unable to shoot Henry Clay, and we go to Emily, Washington.
Andrew Jackson.
Is right, Andrew Jackson, another 5 points for Washington. So you build your lead to 15-0 now. Here's the next question for you on the bonus. Sports achievements. What 35-year-old track and field athlete leaped his way into the Olympic record book in the 1996 Games in Atlanta? Oh, I'm sorry. Carl Lewis was the fellow. What a performance he put on, too. Well, it's 15-0, and Washington out to that early lead. The next category, comedy. An actor whose lines set up jokes for a comedian is called a... And we go over here to Emily, Washington.
Straight man.
Straight man is right. And that's 5 more points for Washington. So here's the bonus chance now. You've already got a 20-0 lead. You could make it more. Sports injuries. What injury reminiscent of a garden vegetable and most common among boxers involves deformity of the ear? Emily?
Cauliflower ear.
Cauliflower ear is right again, another 5 points. So Washington on the board again, and it's 25-0. Hunters is the category on the toss-up. Simon Wiesenthal bagged his biggest hunting trophy in 1960 when he located and captured what former Nazi official in Argentina? Ten seconds. I'm thinking these folks were a long ways from being born, of course, in 60, but the answer is Adolf Eichmann. Adolf Eichmann. Idioms is the category. A person whose reckless speech endangers the welfare or efforts of others is called a loose... Emily, Washington.
Cannon.
Cannon is right, and that's worth 5 points for you. So it's another 5 for Washington. Monuments is your bonus. Try here. The Arch of Triumph in Paris is at one end of what famous boulevard? Emily.
Champs-Élysées.
Exactly right. Champs-Élysées, and you get another 5 points. So 35-0. Radio history. What was the early popular name for both radio and telegraphy using radio signals? Ten seconds. Ticking away here. Wireless is the answer we were grasping for there. Debates is the next category. What debater said this in response to his opponent? That a house divided against itself, and we go over here, who have we got? Alex for Washington.
Lincoln.
I'm sorry, that is not right. So I'll complete the question now for Jefferson. What debater said this in response to his opponent? That a house divided against itself cannot stand is a slander upon the framers of our Constitution. Our government can endure forever, divided into free and slave states as our fathers made it. Buzzer sounds. Stephen Douglas, the debate opponent with Abraham Lincoln. 35-0. Here's the last toss-up now in the first session. Floor art. A floor inlaid with different colors, and we go to Emily, Washington.
Mosaic.
I'm sorry, that is not right. I will complete it now for Jefferson. A floor inlaid with different colors of wood in relatively small geometric patterns is called... And Kevin?
I have no idea.
Okay. No, that's not right, Kevin. It is parquet. But that concludes round one. We have a score of 35 for Washington. Jeff is yet to get on the board, but I have a hunch they will in the second round when the point totals double. We'll come back with round two after this tribute to Washington High School, and stay with us on the High School Challenge. We'll be right back. Time now for round 2 of the high school challenge, and this morning Washington is on the board with 35 points. Jefferson is yet to make it there, but now things are very interesting because here in round 2 the rules remain the same. However, the point totals double, and by that I mean every toss-up is worth 10 points now and every bonus is worth 10 points. So here we go, Jefferson and Washington. Theater is the category on the toss-up. What is the name for the canopy on the front outside of a theater advertising, and we go to Steve, Washington.
Proscenium?
I'm sorry, that is incorrect, so I'll complete the question now for Jefferson. What is the name for the canopy on the front outside of a theater advertising the play currently being presented? And Scott.
Facade.
Facade, close, but it was marquee. We were looking for marquee. Still, the score remains the same now. Water depths. Leonard dropped his brand new prescription sunglasses into 9 fathoms of water. In feet, how deep was the water? And we go to Steve, Washington.
54 feet.
Pardon me?
54 feet.
54 is exactly right. That's 10 points for Washington. You know your fathoms. That's good, Steve. Okay, here we go with the bonus chance for you now. Geographic anatomy. What Mediterranean island lies closest to the toe of Italy? Steve?
Sicily?
Sicily is right. Okay, another 10 points for Washington. Steve was giving the old signal. That was good. Okay, formal meetings is the category on the toss-up. Formal meetings. Under parliamentary procedure, how many main motions may be in order at one time? Nathan, Washington.
1.
1 is right, and that's 10 more points. So a good size lead, not insurmountable, but it's 65-0. Here's the bonus for you. Murders. In the same year that Lyndon Johnson decided not to run for re-election, what Democratic presidential contender was killed by an assassin's bullet? And Patrick.
Robert Kennedy.
Robert Kennedy, you're right again. Another 10 for Washington, so you're piling it up a little bit here. It's 75-0. Here we go with the next toss-up. Medical verbs. What term in its medical sense means either to mix blood from several donors or the accumulation of blood in a body site? 10 seconds, no conferring obviously on the toss-up. We were looking for pool, P-O-O-L, pool. Marches is the category. In 1897, Congress approved what tune by John Philip Sousa as the official American national? And we go over to Kevin for Jefferson.
The Stars and Stripes Forever?
Is exactly right. 10 points for Jefferson High School. Stars and Stripes Forever. So you have 75-10. Kind of relief to have the points, right? Okay, here we go with the bonus chance for you. Marches. Of the 75,000 men on the Bataan Death March, 12,000 were Americans. Most of the rest were from what country? Philippines. They were from the Philippines, but you're on the board and it's 75-10. Here's the toss-up. American foundations. The Hugh O'Brien Youth Foundation was founded by the actor who once played the television role of what marshal of the Old West? Why do I feel old all of a sudden? Time's ticking away. Wyatt Earp. Wyatt Earp. Brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame and long live his glory. Long may his story be told. Remember that? Okay. Clock angles. The hour hand of a clock rotates how many degrees in 30 minutes? And who have we got here? Scott for Jefferson. 180. 180 is not right. Washington? Nathan?
6 degrees.
6? No, you're all around it. 15 degrees. It goes 15 degrees. Now, insulation. Which U.S. state on the toss-up, which U.S. state has the lowest level of insulation? Kevin, Jefferson.
Hawaii.
Hawaii? No. Washington? Almost the exact opposite. Alaska is the state we were looking for. Intellectual ages. The epithet Age of Reason is usually applied to what century? What century? Toss up. Steve, Washington?
18th.
18th is right, and that's 10 points for Washington. 85 to 10, here's the bonus chance for you. Emotion. A sudden, overpowering terror accompanied by intense anxiety and either paralyzed immobility or blind flight is called... Now the buzzer sounds panic is what it's called. Or doing a weathercast, but panic is the answer we're looking for. It's 85 to 10. Portraits. The picture of George Washington on the $1 bill is based on a famous portrait of him completed in 1796. Who was the painter? And we go to Patrick, Washington.
Stewart.
That's acceptable.
Gilbert Stuart, you're right. A very impressive answer. Good for Washington. It's 95 to 10. Asian coast, the bonus chance for you. Asian coast. Which Asian country has the longest coastline? Can confer, of course. Steve?
Russia.
I'm sorry, it's Indonesia. Indonesia is the answer, but it's 95 to 10. Toss up. Architectural riddles. What cat is a narrow walkway? Nathan, Washington.
Catwalk.
Catwalk, you're right. You got the riddle. That's good. That's 10 points for Washington. Bonus chance for you. Mining is the category. What did miners extract from the big hole at Kimberley, South Africa? Steve.
Diamonds.
Is right again. Another 10 points for Washington. Here's the last question of round 2 now, and the score is 115 to 10. Washington in the lead. Wartime sailings. When the Spanish-American War broke out, the USS Oregon was in Puget Sound. When it was ordered to Cuban waters, it had to sail 14,000 miles around what cape? And Carl for Jefferson.
Cape Horn.
Cape Horn is right. Jefferson gets 10 more points. Nice going. Well, you can applaud for that. That's okay. It's 115 to 20 now, and you could add 10 more points and make it a little closer for the third round coming up. Senators on the bonus. A U.S. senator who has just completed her third consecutive term in office must be at least how old? Kevin?
35.
No, 48 is what we were looking for, but you got the bonus. Well, you didn't get the bonus, you got the toss-up. It's 115 to 20, and right now Washington leads, but the valedictorian round is coming up. Massive changes are possible. Don't worry about it. Jefferson High School, we'll hear from them and be right back with more of the KCRG TV9 High School Challenge. It's 115 to 20, and right now Washington High School leads Jefferson here in the KCRG TV9 High School Challenge, but now we enter upon the final round, the valedictorian round. And what I mean by that is the rules are all out the window from what we've had in prior sessions. What we mean by this is that I will ask the question now in rather rapid-fire order, and the first team that rings the bell will have an opportunity to answer. If they do so correctly, they win 15 points. If they do so incorrectly, we subtract 15 points from their score. So a lot can change, and in fact, in history, a lot has changed here in the valedictorian round. So here we go, Washington and Jefferson, the third round. The score right now, 115 to 20. Here's the category, international relationships. What Soviet leader formed an alliance with Cuba after Fidel Castro's successful revolution in and we go to Justin, Washington.
Khrushchev.
Nikita Khrushchev, you're right, 15 points for Washington. Bad ideas, a persistent idea or thought which an individual cannot get rid of, even though, and it's Noah, Washington.
Obsession.
Obsession is right, and 15 more points for Washington. Antecedents, antecedents. Pronouns must agree with their antecedents in person, number, and buzzer sounds gender. They must agree in gender. Psychology. An individual's assumptions about her identity and worth as a person is called her And Justin, Washington.
Self-esteem.
Or self-concept, you're right. Washington gets 15 more points. So, pretty good lead, 160 to 20 right now. Outcomes. What is the number of possible outcomes when 4 coins are tossed? Steve, Washington.
16.
16 is right. 15 more points from Washington. Capitals. Name the capital of the westernmost state that borders Lake Michigan. And Carl for Jefferson.
Madison.
Madison is right. 15 points for Jefferson. So you get 15 more there. So Jefferson strikes back here. They've got 35 now. Now we go to the next category, pitiful primaries. What major Republican presidential candidate failed to win the New Hampshire primary in 1996, 1980? And we go to Justin, Washington.
96. Dole.
Robert Dole is right, and that's 15 points for Washington. Apparently surprised the heck out of all your colleagues here, Justin. Here's the next category. Snakes. Coral snakes have black and red bands, separated by stripes of what color? And Noah, Washington.
White.
White is not right. The answer is yellow, so we have to take away 15 points. First flyby. In December of 1973, Pioneer 10 became the first spacecraft to fly by what planet? And Kevin for Jefferson.
Mars.
I'm sorry, Jupiter is the answer, so we have to take away 15 there. Literary counts. What count could be described as an undead villain from Transylvania? And over here to Carl, Jefferson.
Count Dracula.
Count Dracula, right, so you get that 15 points back. Nice going on that, Jefferson. Okay, cities. Well, that's good. Cities. Taipei. Taipei is the largest city in what country? And Kevin, Jefferson.
Taiwan.
Taiwan is right again. That's 15 more points for Jefferson. Folk songs, the category. These are examples of what category of folk songs? Steal Away, By and By, Deep River. Well, they're examples of spirituals. Personal property. What is the 5-letter term for anything owned having monetary value? And Noah, Washington.
Assets.
Asset is right, and 15 points is added to Washington's total, which is pretty impressive. 190 to 50 right now. Here's the next question. Age problems. Fred is now 10 years older than Fran. 5 years ago, he was twice as old as Fran was. How old is Fred? Oh, I love those questions. 25 is the answer, 25. Nifty abilities. Through what process are some animals capable of regrowing organs and or limbs that have been lost? Justin?
Regeneration.
Is right again. Nice going, Justin. 15 points. Explorers. What was the nationality of the explorer and missionary David Livingstone? He was Scottish. A door that is not a door. Actually, the silkworm is not a worm. It is a... Steve, Washington?
Larva.
I'm sorry, it's caterpillar is what we're looking for, so we deduct 15. U.S. states, if you were to alphabetically arrange all of the states, which once were either partly or entirely in Mexico, which would be last on the list? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Justin?
Utah.
Utah, no, it's Wyoming. Wyoming would be last on the list. So 15 points deducted from Washington. Federal programs. What is the 3-word name for the federal program designed to ensure the safety and anonymity of witnesses by giving them new identities? And Noah for Wash.
Witness Protection Program.
Exactly right. So you get the 15 points back. So it's 190 to 50 right now, and local government, the category. What is a 6-syllable noun for a self-governing political unit, such as a city, a town, a borough, or a village? Municipality. And what is, this is the last question for the teams now. Anatomical synonyms. Anatomical synonyms. What is a two-syllable synonym for a toe or a finger? Justin, Washington.
Digit.
Digit is right. We had 15 points in Washington. Well, that's the end of the game. Jefferson came up with 50 points, but Washington has 205. And Washington, congratulations, you're going to the Final Four. Nice effort here. Very impressive. And Jefferson, our thanks to you, and you get $250 from KCRG, and our thanks for playing the high school challenge. It's good to have you all here. And gentlemen, you're on your way to the Final Four, so we will see you at that point. That's the end of today's edition of the High School Challenge, the KCRG TV9 High School Challenge. Have a good week ahead. We'll see you next time as we go onward and upward with the challenge.